Hey, this is Tracy with Color Me This. Today is episode 37. It is going to be a haul video, very small. I bought one set of colored pencils, as you can see here. You can even see which ones I got. And a couple of other items that I either stumbled upon or got a really good price on. And we will be doing flip throughs of the other products because they are all coloring pages related. So the only Castle Arts set of pencils, the colored pencils, not watercolor, that I did not own are the pastel tint. I do love my Brute Funer macarons. I have 2 sets of those, but this was a great price. It was directly from Castle Arts, and it came with what is called the extras, which is some paper packs or pads, which I purposefully bought 2 sets from Amazon because the only place that I could find those extras was through Amazon. So I was quite surprised when I received the mail with this special final Black Friday days, and that this particular set was for $22, and it also came with the paper, so I could not pass that up. And I now own all of them. I have swatched on the very tiny swatch sheet after swatching such large sets. It was very pleasant. I did this in 2 sittings. I like to relax in front of the recliner, or on the recliner, streaming. And so I whipped this out, and I already have some fodder for my detailed walkthrough when I get to it. Though I did the poll, and so far the winner is the Color 180s. So I did not spend a lot of time on these, and I won't go into my opinion on them yet because I will do the complete walkthrough at a later date. The one thing I do have to say is it is really hard to read the white letters on the light colored pencils, and because these are pastels, many of them are light colored, and I would have thought that they would have picked a darker color for the ink on the labeling, something other than white. However, that is all I'm going to say about these. I'm going to share with you the extras. So I really like getting the Castle Arts with the cases. I just think it makes my life easier, and I don't have to think about getting the case. So when I can get a case with my pencils, I'm all for it. And I know that some people like to match and get like all of the same case, and I'm just all over the map. I like my cases to just be random. So that works for me. So these are the pads. There are 3 of them. Some of the extras, I believe when I bought the metallics, I also got like a craft pad that's really pretty, a nice dark craft color brown. So these are, we get the black one, and the black is smooth on both sides. I think equally as smooth, and it says it's 135 GSM. It is just thick enough that if I wanted to use it as cardstock for card making, I could, but I will of course use it for drawing. We've got Bristol board. So Bristol board, it looks like it's a grayish. I've got these printed copies behind, and it is a grayish color, not warm, and I would say it is thicker. It should be, yeah, 250 GSM. So it is a thicker stock than the black was, and it is also even on both sides as far as the texture, and it is a little bit rough. It's not slick like the black is. Then we have cartridge paper. Oh, and that's very yellow. So that's nice because here the 2 colors are the very black and the very yellow. It is dark, almost dark here. We've had a really gloomy day in Florida, and I even think I hear some rain going on. I'm looking out the window and I think I see wet rocks. This is very thin. This should be, yeah, 130. So this feels thinner than the black, and it is textured on the top and it is smooth on the back. So those were my extras that I feel really made me satisfied with my one Black Friday purchase. So in addition to the purchase of these pencils, I decided to go out searching for some of the more well-known coloring books artists, and I went to typed in each name, went to their website, and two of them that I found actually had like a packet, or in one case, a mini coloring book. So I'm going to walk through these. Many of you may have already found them, but I was pretty excited. So the first one that I stumbled upon was R.J. Hampson. I've been seeing a lot of coloring tutorials for his work, and one of them I actually was able to color while on the road. But then I stumbled upon this entire packet, and so it includes a discount of 10% of all digital products, and it is, he calls it signing up for his newsletter and product announcements. So every time he puts out a newsletter, you get a single downloadable page as well. So what I liked about this packet that he has is that it describes which coloring book this image is in. So if you liked this style of art, it says sample page from Oceans, then you could go look at Oceans and see if you wanted it. Now I will tell you that on his website you can just buy like 5 of the pages from this book. So that's another way, if you don't have the funding to just buy the book in its entirety, you can order or get from his website like a sample pack similar to this, but this one is a mix of different coloring books. So this is from Steampunk Houses, Steampunk Houses 2, Pirates, Steampunk Robots, Fantasy Tiny Homes, and Mr. Fogarty, who appears in a frog's tail. So the second one, on Johanna Basford's website, at the very bottom on the home page is a sign up for my newsletter, and she will send you a mini book called Flourish. So this is an entire book, and it is a variety of art styles. She even kind of has some helpful hints and tips. And actually, if you haven't been to her website, here, take this off. The website has a whole bunch of, articles, and in those articles you can nest through, and there are more downloads. In fact, one of them is in the back of this book, and it's all about relaxing, taking care of yourself, being calm, and helping you to be cheerful. Like creativity is an incredible mood booster. So I really liked the tone of her website for what coloring can be to people who try it. So this is the first page. I did print cut front to back, which is funny because I had at the time my Nina coloring page paper for this one, and the R.J. Hampson I printed single-sided on the copy paper, so go figure. So they're all different shapes, which I really like. Love the birds. The nice thing is I do use colored pencils, which mean there's nothing stopping me from coloring on both sides, except that my paper does have a rough side and a smooth side, so I'll just have to decide that I'm okay with coloring one side for the rough, and then the other side will be different, and it will be smooth. So love the mushroom house. The Under the Sea, this is a fun image because you will be able to create the illusion of water and the fact that these items are all under the water, including this little house. Oh, I keep forgetting. A wreath with lots of flowers. Hydrangea is interesting, and lilies. I just love the variety of flowers on that one. A little scene with a bunny. I like the frame around it. I thought that this page would be a really fun page to kind of grid, separate it into a grid, and then use with all of the pencils that I have. I could do little sections with the different colored pencil sets that I have. And I bet with as many butterflies as I see here, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, that I could get a lot of my sets on here. Test it out nicely. Oh, we already saw that. Sea turtle. This is a 2-page spread, I believe, is what it's intended to be. So this would be fun to make the colors the same across both. And then I love the floral bumblebee. So then this one is a different download that there is a third page I didn't download. This was the 30 Days of Flowers from a few years back, and she has a page that's numbered 1 through 30, and you mark off when you color one flower each day for 30 days. And then the final item that I got, searching for, I always search for used books, coloring books, and I have certain artists that I do really enjoy. And this particular book was $6.23. I think it was like $3 and then some for shipping, and the total came out to be $6.23. And it said that it was good quality, or good was the condition it was in, and it did not have any colored in pages. So you do have to be careful with that, and I will show you why. This is Ruby Charm Colors. Her frogs is what I use as my template for coloring a full coloring project 3 different ways for each of the set of pencils that I am doing walkthroughs on. I hesitate to call them reviews because since I am not like an expert on colored pencils, it's more me just going through and doing a bunch of different things so that I can talk about my personal experience with the pencils. So, Ruby Charm Colors, I'm on her Facebook site, and if you want access to her style of artwork, if you join Ruby Charm Colors, all one word, that's a Facebook group. There's a whole bunch of files in the downloads section. She is active and on that group and providing us updates and special deals of her new projects and products that she's coming out with. And I own the Ocean Imaginary and insects. I love insects, so this one I have had my eyes on, and I finally found one with a good deal. However, I will share with you when I get to it one thing to watch out for. And when I buy a used book, I don't have huge expectations. This particular book said no writing no highlights, no writing, no marks in it. Just talked about the exterior having worn marks, but see, it does not. It actually looks pristine. So as I walked through it the first time, I do like she gives you lots of notes and details about her book and what the style is for it. She calls it an adult coloring art journal. So in her mind, this is not just a coloring book. She wants you to explore a plate. Each page has a plate. So she has plates 1 through 26. And then for each plate, there is a variety of images. So there's 4, then this little bulleted list. Introduction to the plate, the art journal page where you can write some notes, you can test your colors, talk about what set of pencils you're using. Then you have the full illustrated plate, and then on the back is a black version of the plate, which is generally black with white lines so that you can color with media that would look really good with a black base background. She even talks about some various people and colorists on the back cover. And so I just really like how she just really embraces her art journal style and what it's all about, and shares with you very detailed information about how to think of her books, how she thinks of her books and would like them to be used. Test your colors. All right, so plate 1, honeycomb, honeybee, and this is the actual honeybee plate. You have a place for notes, and then you've got some different areas here that you can color. Even on the pre-page, let's see what was on that page. An introduction, you have even more places to explore coloring her honeybees. And then on the back, so on the back of this one, there isn't a black version, and I'm looking, nope, so there's no black version of the honeybees. This is an introduction to the next insect, the art page, the journaling page. Here's the image. And then there's the back, and here is a black version of the image. I'm going to go back to the honeybees because I'm curious. Nope, there is just no black version of those honeybees. And you can sign the back that you colored it. So plate 2 is the beetle. I noticed that the printing quality on this particular page, we've got a couple of vertical lines and a little vertical line here. So it's not perfect. And then there is a second beetle 2 for plate number 3. And where I was telling you that for the quality of this book as being not colored in, it's because somebody carefully ripped out some of the pages. So as I went through it, I evaluated. I don't think there's any returns on these. I've never gotten to the point where I felt one of my used books needed to be returned, because as you can see, there are lots and lots of pages. So even though there's just the 25 main images, there's still lots of pages to color. But I did notice that quite a few pages, if they had been colored, they were removed. So we have a mantis. I really like the styling on this page. I like that every page is different, so you never get bored. So that's the end of the Ziggy Mantis. And again, we have a torn out page. We have a moth, and now we're back to a beetle. And then we do have the black and white version of the beetle. So again, this would be fun to use, like maybe glitter pens, any kind of a very careful. This is the quality of this paper is thin enough that you would have to be very careful using a wet media like watercolor. But you could definitely use pens without a problem. And I love the styling on this page. Again, we have some white lines running through, but for using it for coloring, I am okay with that. Though if I had bought it new, I might be dissatisfied with those lines running through it, because that's not on the artwork. That is definitely lines from the printer. All right, we have our next plate 9. And here is plate 10. Lots of busy things going on here. I do think that these are sort of fantasy insects. Love the ferns. I'm from Washington State, and we have these kind of ferns in the forests. It does seem like the white lines are on every page pretty consistently. This one's not. This one's just got one line. Again, here's another page that was colored. I almost would have preferred for the colored pages to be left because I am fascinated with, watching tutorials and seeing people's hauls because I like to see all the different styles that people color in as well as the different mediums that they use. So this actually is a big butterfly that would be fun to color with all of the busyness around it and practice making the focal really pop. This one has 2 pages cut out, so that's plate 14. And let's see, so plate 15 is completely missing. Another page. What are we up to? 5 pages that have images on both sides, most likely. Yep. More bumblebees with orchids this time. Just 1 page this time. So this must be the plate 19. So that is a type of dragonfly. If you can see the dragonfly. Interesting. We have kind of a mandala with 4 beetles. And this one has not been torn out, so this is the art journal page for plate 20, and here's plate 20. So this time we have the black version of this exact same beetle. That's a nice scene. And 22, so this is the scene without the insect, and this is a moth, a very fancy moth. Let's see if you can get rid of the background so you can see it. Very creative. Metamorphosis. Pumpkins. And this is really nice. I like this plate a lot. We have the moth, the caterpillar, and the chrysalis. Is that what that is called? And here's a gray image with white to color on. And this one has been pulled out. So plate 24. I believe that this is a white and black version of plate 24 that's been, the white page has been colored and removed. And here is a number 2 of that same insect, a grasshopper, and a torn out page. And then we have a fun color wheel. She likes to color or create a variety of different color wheels, which I really like. And then, so then the back has a place where you can do your own swatch charts using this paper probably to just see how the paper behaves. And you have another page of that. So I still feel if there were, say, 10 or so pages, okay, then somebody colored this. So even with the pages that were torn out, I think for the price that I paid, being that I really love her style of art and I love that it's all insects, I still feel pretty good about paying the $6 that I paid for it. And again, that's the gamble that you take, and I find it fun to hunt for the various coloring books that I enjoy, the style and the artist, and getting them used. I also like giving them a second chance at life being used because somebody decided they didn't need them or had used what they wanted of them. For whatever reason, they decided that it was just not for them to have. So that is my Black Friday haul, of which I only bought 1 item and then did the 2 downloads, actually 3 if you include the 30 Days of Flowers, as well as my 1 used coloring book. So that's all I've got. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I am working on the Color 180s. Not sure which issue that will be. I am frantically getting done with my Christmas cards. I have done all of the mail away ones. I have family and friends on the West Coast, and I'm now in Florida, so I had to get those done pretty early to make sure they have plenty of time to reach their destination. So as soon as I get the rest of my cards finished up, I will be working hard on the Color 180s. As always, thanks for watching.